What is up, all you beautiful people? It is I, AkemiTCG, back with a brand new video. I feel like every time I come back from a break, it's always going to be a Dragonmaid deck profile. I don't know why. That's just how it is. So recently, in the past weekend, I played at a YUGIOH $1,000 tournament. Pretty much the top 4 get split a prize worth of $1,000, which is super exciting. And I managed to get top 8. Out of, I believe it was 45 people, I managed to get top 8 out of that. So I was wicked excited. Before I start the deck profile, shoutouts to Team King of Games. This is pretty much where all my inspiration came from for this deck. And I'll talk more about it as I go through the profile. Secondly, my matchups were Sword Soul, which I beat 2-0. Tropical Lyralist, which I beat 2-0. Another Tropical Lyralist, which I got wrecked by because he was just a better player. Madolche, which I drew against, and then Flundereeze, which I beat. So if that gives you any indication how good this deck is, this is how it works. So we have a 60 card deck profile. It doesn't seem ethical, it seems unorthodox. 60 card Dragonmaid, like, what are you doing, man? All right, so we'll get right into it. On to the main deck. We got 3 Chamber Dragonmaids. Basically, Chamber is going to be your best one. It gets you the hospitality, it gets you the tidying. If you need an extension for next turn, especially if you're summoning on your opponent's turn, then you get the hospitality. If you need to fusion summon, you grab the changeover. If you need to get tidying just for another interruption, like you end on Seal's tidying, it's pretty good, then you get that as well. 3 Kitchen. I'm starting to think I do kind of want to cut this in the future for the DPE package. I feel like it doesn't really impact the game state as much. Like, you just make Kitchen, and if you don't have another Dragonmaid in your hand, you're just like, oh, well, I'll add a like Lorepar or something, then discard it, or add an Earnest, or just add a Chamber and discard it. It's really good in conjunction with World Legacy Guard Dragon. However, you don't always start with both in the hand just because you're playing 60. So I am planning on cutting this down to just 1. I know it sounds weird because it's a Dragonmaid deck, but it's honestly for the best. 3 Parlor, equivalent to Chamber. However, it gets you tidying and changeover at any of the big dragons. Pretty much, if you need changeover for that turn, you send it to the graveyard. On your opponent's turn, if you summon this off of Shao, you can send tidying and then have more recursions. Like, there's so many times where my opponent has tried to access code me during time, and they're like, okay, attack for game, and then they completely forgot I have a tidying in the graveyard, and then I just win by default that way because I'm up in life. 1 Earnest for if you have it in your hand. It's a quick effect discard, especially summon a small Dragonmaid, so it does work nicely in conjunction. And 1 Lorepar. This is really good in baiting out pretty much what your opponent has. If your opponent has a monster in the field that threatens to negate, you can discard it, target it, they can't activate it for the rest of the turn. One of my favorite things I like to do with Lorepar is if they have a Zeus, you discard Lorepar, target Zeus. Either they use Zeus there and then, which they're probably not going to do because they neg really hard, but pretty much it shuts down the Zeus, and it shuts down a Baroness. Just a couple of examples, and it shuts down the Sorcerer guy. I think it's Chiofeng, the one that negates a face-up cards effect, so it's pretty good. So that's it for the Dragonmaid package. Now you're playing Dragunities in it, so pretty much Dragonmaid, Dragunity, Dragonlink, 60 card, and it works. 3 Dragunity Remus. Pretty much this card is a 1.5 card Crystal Wing. This card plus any other card in your hand will make you a free Crystal Wing. So ideally, before you even do anything, you want to shotgun Remus first and then summon the Crystal Wing. So you summon Crystal Wing at exactly 5. If they Nibiru you, they have to Nibiru you there. Unless they have both Nibiru and Imperm in their hand, they cannot break your board. So that's pretty good. Obviously 1 Legatus, because you're playing the Remus package. That's how you get yourself into that Crystal Wing situation. 1 Mistletoe for the glow combos. 1 Baby Rock. This is probably the worst card. You never want to draw into this ever. Like, I've drawn into this. Every time I've drawn to this in tournament in my opening hand, I lose. It just happens. It does nothing in the hand, and it does nothing in the graveyard. It only does something in conjunction with Gay Dirk. You summon Gay Dirk, you pitch this, then you get the special. Other than that, it does absolutely nothing. It's just a bad, like, just not good. You just don't want to see it in your hand ever. Graham, very strong card. In my opinion, if you're playing any Dragunity package, you have to play 1 of this just because your opponent, it's hard to not justify like something with the Ravine where you can pitch this card in the graveyard, summon it back for free every single turn, then just straight up negate one of your opponent's effects, and also take their monsters too. So if they have like, let's say like you run over an Eldritch with this, right? You can take their Eldritch. That Eldritch is now equipped to this card. So now it's immensely strong. So people don't really talk about this card, but I believe it's one of the cards that is very underrated in the deck. So you have to play the one. Yeah, one Tempest for gold sarcophagus combos, because Tempest is really good. Gets you the Parlor Dragonmaid, it gets you the Remus, gets you the Mistletoe, gets you the Armor Graham just in case you need something else to discard too. Completely up to you. You just have a lot of flexibility with this card. Also, if you have this and also another win in your hand, let's say like you open these two, right? Because these two aren't really good in the hand. You can discard both of these, add any dragon from your deck to your hand. So you just have like a full arsenal of gigantic dragon package you can pick out of. 3 black metal dragons. This is the combo starter. You link into striker, chain link 1 striker, or chain link 2 red MD. All the other way around, depending on what's more important, boots at the launch or red MD, and it's very good. And obviously 1 red MD. Rocket package, 1 Absa router. You ravine this, you add a rocket. 3 Noctivision. I might cut this down to 2. It's an extender, but it doesn't always come up, especially since Striker Dragon's at 1. Sometimes I have to do really awkward Pisty plays where I link into a monster, summon Pisty, and then summon Nocto back, and just end on a seal just in case they droll me or do something crazy like that. But in all honesty, I think it's not like the best, but you would at least have to play 2 of these. And also with Chamber, if you hospitality the Chamber, you can summon this back too, so it's pretty dope. 1 Rocket Recharger. 2 Tracer, obviously wicked important card. Now onto the spells. Got 3 Dragon Ravine. This card is wicked good. People don't really, I mean, I'm not gonna say much about it. It's the Dragunity package. It works really well with the rest of the deck. You could send Chamber and then hospitality it back. It just has so much synergy with the deck, so you have to play 3. Obviously 1 Glow for the Tomb combos. 2 Changeover. Might cut this down to 1 just because it's searchable, but I do like opening this card a lot and just making a show before I even get any searches, which is really dope. So probably might keep this at 2. 3 Hospitality. Obviously the Monster Reborn, non-targeting, and summons from the hand and also fixes your deck. It just does so many different things in one card that you have to play 3. 1 Boots at the Sector Launch for Rockets. Obviously 3 Quick Launch because the card's busted. 1 1-for-1 for the Metal Dragon plays. Gold Sark for the Tempest plays. 3 World Legacy Guard Dragon just to revive your cards. And also make LP plays. It doesn't come up often because you have to hard draw this card, but it's really good regardless. Got Board Breakers. We got 2 Chalice. This would be Droplet. 3 Talents. I'm gonna cut down it to 2 Talents and then 3 Droplet once the reprints come out, because it just makes more sense with this deck. You do want most of your stuff in the graveyard anyway, so Droplet just works with this deck, and also drop a Stee out to Dragoon, etc. And obviously 3 Dark Ruler no more. You don't know if you're going first or second. You go in second, you draw Dark Ruler, then you're all set to go. Unless you're playing against Phantom Knights, then it's a little bit harder. Now onto the traps. We're just playing 3 copies of Dragonmaid Tiding. That's honestly one of the best cards in the deck. You guys keep coming back. If you Tidying the Parlor, you can send another Tidying, provided you did not use Parlor this turn. And it's pretty bonkers. Like, this is a bounce, and right now, in my opinion, bounces are really strong compared to just negates. If it's negates and destroys, that's good. But if it's a bounce, like Tidying, Seal, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, something that can just interrupt your play, not necessarily just negate your opponent's play, is really good right now. Now on to the extra deck. We have 1 Striker Dragon, obviously, 1 Pisty. These are pretty much the 2 bread and butters for any Rocket package. This only comes up literally if you have World Legacy Guard Dragon in the field. Literally, it never comes up house-wise. 2 Seal. 1 Romulus. Obviously, to get your Ravine, you can get the Ravine late and just go into the Crystal Wing combo. If you summon Gay Durg and you have Baby Rock on the field and they don't Nibiru you there, especially if it's after 5, after you did the Romulus combo, then you're pretty much safe to go into the Atum combo. But it really just depends on the situation. Obviously, Borosaur to took out your opponents. 1 Borreload Furious to target one of your big Dragon Maids and then target 1 card your opponent controls. Pop both but because the big Dragonmaid's on the field, it gets protected, so it's really, really strong. 2 House Dragonmaids, 1 Show. Pretty much, the Show is there to negate. So with 2 houses, you hypothetically have 2 negates. It's never come up where I needed 2 Shows in 1 house, but it always comes up where I just needed 2 different negates with Show, just because Changeover is such a recurable card. Exceeds, we have 1 Atum, just for the extension plays. You can summon Nurse, etc. with it. Gay Dirg, obviously, and Crystal Wing Single Dragon to go for the pretty much the Gay Dirg Dragunity plays with the Remus, so the 1.5 card combo I was talking about. 1 Borrowed Savage, and last but not least, 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. This game is, or rather, this deck is really, really tricky to play, and it has a lot of different combos. If you're playing combo versus combo, most of the time you're going to go into time. That's just how the game works. If you're going first, you can summon Scarlight, and there's like 1 minute on the clock in this main phase. You can summon Scarlight with the Remus combo, and if they don't have any answer to it, you can Scarlight your own card. You would need Scarlight in another, I believe it is a special summon effect monster on the field. So since Remus doesn't use your normal summon, as long as you have Remus plus literally any Dragonmaid, any starter, you can make Striker, blow up your Striker, your opponent takes 500, that's game, because that's time in the round. Any changes I would make to the main deck would be, probably have to be, the extra deck's like a super tight. So if you want to play the DPE package, which I do recommend, you have to take out 2. The Furious doesn't come up that often, but when it does, it's really good. But by the time it comes up, you're already in such an advantageous game state that you win with the Dragonmaid cards alone by sheer card. Honestly, with the DPE package, you might have to take out Scarlight. I mean, Scarlight seldom comes up, but when it comes up, it's really clutch. But it seldom comes up, and it's always, like, I guess, playable in a sense. So you can take out these 2, get 1 Verte, 1 Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. Stuff in the main I would change would be the 2 Kitchen, because I would put in 1 Sloth just to grind out, possibly even the Changeover. So 2 Kitchen, the Changeover, and I need to take out 1 more card. So that's something that's really something to just think about. Anything you guys want to test with, I would take out these for the DPE package, or you take out, if you take out 1 more card, you could put in a Morphic Sloth. But I feel like Seal with a Morphic Sloth in the field, or Seal tidying, is really strong, especially if you summon Sloth afterwards. It puts a lot of pressure on your opponent to not commit to a board, or pretty much it just saves you from losing on the immediately, because they have to be like, oh, well, I guess I have to summon this card, go into the battle phase, attack over your slot, and then main phase 2 they have to make a board. Where if you just have a Nurse in the field, it's not really that much pressure, and if they make enough negates, then they can still plow through your board and OTK you. So this is really something you have to think about. On to the side deck. It'll be 3 Lancia for the Tri Brigade matchup, 3 Nib also for the Tri Brigade matchup, the Sword Soul matchup, 3 Lightning Storm. I might cut this for Droll, because I feel like Droll's a lot better right now. 3 Twin Twisters. Obviously, if they play something like Anti-Spell, they play something like Imperial Order, you can chain Twin Twisters to it and it just do the thing. Last but not least, 3 Evenly Matched, because this card's insanely good right now. I don't know why people aren't playing Evenly Matched. I feel like everybody should be playing this card. This card's insane. It's just good. Anyways, that is it for the deck profile. If you have any questions, I highly recommend you try this out. I know this seems like such a weird deck, but trust me, it works. It works so well. Like the Dragonmaids and the Dragons all have consistency with each other, and it just works. I don't know, it just works. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed the video. My name is AkemiTCG. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
The world ends now.